All right, welcome back to the Marching Arts Podcast. I am the Stress Master.
And I'm Kanan. I'm not the darkness anymore. I'm just Kanan. Oh, hold on a second. I have something you guys don't have, though. You ready for this?
Uh-oh. Woo! Look at that. I like it.
Yeah. All the cool kids are wearing it.
And you guys can order it on the Marching Arts official merch page. So we do have that in hats. We do have that in hats. Yes. And who are you, young lady?
I'm Jen. Hello, token old guard lady here.
Old guard lady.
I like being the old guard lady. It's the truth. I embrace it.
All right. So we had an emergency podcast situation that we had to meet, and we're going to get to that story. I'm actually going to save it to the last of the news cycle stories because it's a big one. Let me go ahead and share my screen.
Yeah,
And now, the news. Here we go. Okay, so we got. I tried to put together a lot of things that I'm not going to go through everything because there are so many staff announcements that have been happening every day from every corps for different sections. But these are ones I wanted to call out that I think are kind of important. So this is the Spirit of Atlanta Brass Education Team. Just kind of goes into their caption head, assistant caption head, and this is the first time I've seen anything from Spirit. I think about their staff. I could have been missing some here and there. That's why I thought it was important to call out. Will Pitts was 2008, right? Phantom Regiment.
He was the conductor at least in 2008. He might have had multiple years. I don't know.
Yeah, multiple years.
He's the one who got killed in 2008.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. And then the other new staff are there, or existing staff are there. But I just saw that and was like, oh we should probably call that one out because I think that's important.
Right.
You have something to add?
I can add, Freddie Martin. I love this. And oh my gosh, how do I even say that? Was it pedagogy? Is that how to say that?
Pedagogy coordinator. That's interesting.
Yeah, I love that title because there's a certain, how do you educate kids? What's your musical education style? And I love that this role exists. It's something that's never occurred to me as making sure that everybody is teaching the same theories and the same philosophies. And I think that's really intriguing, So
Exactly.
I love it. I love it.
Not like a valve oil technician that Blue Devils has or had. Remember that TikTok we watched?
Oh no, really? Oh no.
Or was it second assistant valve oil technician? I was like,
so many staff members. If you look at the staff page for Blue Devils, it's huge. Some of these job titles don't even make any sense. What is a second assistant valve oil technician? And then a week ago, SCV posted an opening for a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con calibration intern. Why are these things necessary for a drum corps to function? Meanwhile, you go to the Blue Coats website and they appear to be cutting back on staff as much as possible.
what the heck
This is
that?
Freddie Martin,
Yeah.
The thing about this that kind of jumps out at me, though, looking at the brass staff for Spirit, is compared to other drum corps, this is quite a small staff. I think it was Vanguard just released their brass staff. It was like 24 staff members for just brass. And yes, I get the whole thing is that they're not there the whole season and all that stuff, but this is significantly less staff members than a lot of other courses.
Yeah.
Can I move forward? Are we good?
Yep. Move forward. Go on. Yes, we're done.
Okay, so this is what struck me here. Sky Ryders have a guard person. So that's the first thing I've seen about the Sky Ryders. And actually, let me pull up their website here. So this kind of is a little bit more about Kelsey. Looks like she was an alum of Santa Clara and Boston Crusaders. Also, Jersey Surf. Just kind of goes into her background a little bit. But I really wanted to, and congratulations, Kelsey. But this is where I wanted to go to because Sky Ryders are going to be fielding a corps.
Yeah.
Come on.
Are they sound sport level?
Yes, sound sport for this year.
They have to be. That's right. That's right. That's
So
fantastic. I'm excited about this. Are they
So what
Texas
do you-
or are they Kansas? They're back in Kansas, right?
Hutchinson, Kansas.
Hutchinson.
Hutchinson. That's right. Okay.
So
There it is. It's right there. Duh.
what kind of Skywriters show do you want to see? Because the Skywriters, for me, when you look at them historically, okay, the Skywriters they were very much a chameleon corps. They went through a big entertainer phase. They went through a musical phase. They went through the Latin cowboy stage in the early 80s. There was all sorts of stuff that they did. We had full symphonic as well.
Yeah.
So if you could choose, what kind of Skywriters do you want to see? What would it be? And now I can tell you, for me, I'd like to see the entertainer musical stage.
That's kind of what I'd like, but that's what
nobody's really sitting in that. Nobody's sitting in that space right now.
Especially, especially with Jersey Surf taking time off.
I'd love to see somebody come out and do, but I'm not talking. I don't want to see Phantom of the Opera. We've seen it; it's been done to death. I don't want to see Carmen and all that stuff. I want to see something like Hamilton or Rent or something like that. You know, some of the more. I'm showing how little I know of the West End.
Some of the more accessible musicals.
Wicked.
Yeah, Wicked would be great.
With the whole witch. I mean, there's just so much stuff that can be done there. I think it would be awesome if they could sit in that space.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, it looks like their first camp is the 25th of January. And
Dale,
if you're somehow watching this, we would love to have you on this podcast and talk.
Oh my gosh,
absolutely.
Yes,
and
we need to reach out.
I'll reach out to him after we're done here today. But I just think it'd be fantastic to just talk to them about the Skywriters. I never got to see the Skywriters because they folded before I marched. Right? Didn't they fold in '88?
No, they folded in '92. Was their last year?
92, yeah.
92? Yeah.
How come I don't remember seeing them?
They went to Texas for a while because they always performed before us.
Yeah, say the kindest possible ways. They always performed well before us.
No offense. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Not
my
much
apologies.
before us, but before us. Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing them. But I remember their '88 show was pretty epic in terms of just props and stuff.
Not trying to single you out here, but you actually marched finals with them, dude.
In '80s,
91. They made finals in 91. They were 12th place.
They were 12th place.
They were 12th place in 91. Because I really enjoy that show.
How to say you're old without saying you're old?
How? Wait, whoa, hold on. You got 11th then in '91.
No.
Blue Coats.
Ah, that sounds right.
Blue Coats.
And Skywriters made finals.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
All right, let's move on.
Oh my god. All right.
They knocked out Dutch Boy.
Ooh, look at that. They have a whole creative team too.
Yeah,
they're all set. Look at that. So they have oh man, that's so great. I'm so excited for them.
Oh, definitely.
Seriously, their director needs to get on here because we will champion your cause.
And I would love to talk about sound sport. We don't ever talk about sound sport. That would be a great conversation to have.
Oh, well, do you know what? That actually, you don't need to change the screen because we don't have any pictures for it, but that actually is a nice segue into what I wanted to talk about, and that is the European drum corps activity. So for those who don't know, there is still drum corps in Europe. However, from the 2025 season, there is no more outdoor activity in Europe. So the European drum corps activity is going indoors under the WGI banner, specifically WG UK and WGE as sound sport. So it's going to be indoor sound sport. Essentially, it's a combination of what you've got in WGI as far as winds and indoor percussion, but it's going to be small drum corps indoor. And and I think that this is a great move. The European activity has lost a lot of drum corps over the last several years. My old corps, the Kids Grove Scouts, we finished up after the 2019 season. Obviously, the pandemic is ultimately what did us in. We lost the company. We've lost Beatrix. All sorts of names of corps that people had probably heard of. I think that this is a move that should have happened probably 10 years ago because it completely levels the playing field as far as how many people can you fit on a basketball court? Not that many.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to, if you're the East Coast elite from the UK, you don't have to go and try to recruit 70 brass players so that you can compete with Kids Grove, because Kids Grove would be putting out 20 just like you are. You know,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Kids Grove isn't coming out in 2025, but yeah, I think this is a really good move. The Winter Guard activity is quite big in Europe. There is.
I was going to say, is it strong there?
It is. Yeah, there's a couple of guards that do come over to WGI fairly regularly. You've probably heard of Mayflower.
Okay. Yeah.
So Mayflower comes over quite regularly, and there is still quite an activity. The difference, of course,
we have a few guard kids from the UK.
Yeah, yeah. There was, I think there was about a dozen Europeans that marched in DCI last year. So Blue Devils had a lead trumpet player that I marched with in Kids Grove. In fact, I marched. So I'm going to give a little shout out to Alex Tucker here. So Alex, I remember the first time he stepped into a horn line was with Kids Grove in 2016, and he was about that tall, you know. And now he's playing upper lead trumpet for the Blue Devils. So. Which is what makes it all the more impressive to me is that we don't have education and we don't have music education in the schools here.
Interesting.
So unlike in America where you've got high school band and stuff like that, it just doesn't really exist here. So if kids want to learn how to play a brass instrument, they're either doing it on their own or they're going to their local brass band or whatever the case may be, and that's where they're learning. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a press release for it, but that's what's happening for 2025.
Right. All right, so I wanted to bring up, and one of the things I've been noticing is like this crazy thing happening where you have the Cavaliers coming to California to audition, and then I think one of the other corps is going to Japan to do auditions, and then, of course, Texas. Everybody goes to Texas for some reason, because that's apparently where all the talent is. But I don't know why that is. But
something like that.
All the corps go to Texas. Every single corps goes to Texas to recruit. But this is kind of more of like all the different SEV auditions, and this will be in the description down below if you want to check it out. I'm gonna scroll down here, but this is actually in California. So Buena Park, that's in Southern California. University of Houston, Oklahoma, North Texas, Dallas, they're doing auditions. So it's just kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know. I thought that was kind of interesting. But
who went to Japan? I
can't remember who it was.
Vanguard? Someone went to Japan.
I think it was
Which is
Blue
further
Stars.
than our furthest. Which is oh yeah.
I think it was Blue Stars.
Right. Okay.
Vanguard. Let's talk about Vanguard. I've always wondered why they don't just up sticks and move to North Texas.
It's the same reason why Phantom Regiment doesn't move from Rockford. Sometimes you just have to stick in your base.
Because, well, I mean, the thing is, though, is that the Vanguard organization has such a close tie-in with the University of North Texas anyway. I mean, the UNT drumline is essentially the Santa Clara drumline. I just
that
don't
doesn't mean they
understand
need to
why.
move operations down there.
Probably be cheaper to operate in Texas than it would be in the Bay Area.
Well,
true.
That is true, but they wouldn't make as much money, I don't think.
Yeah.
Something I find interesting looking at this screen, though, and this is again how to tell me you're old without telling me you're old, is that all these drum corps seem to audition conductors these days. I remember back in my day, your drum major or conductor was promoted from within.
I will say that even at Regiment, we were auditioning conductors when I marched.
Were they really?
Roderick Sanders and Christy Spears had never marched at Regiment before they became conductors.
Oh, all right, so it's not. This isn't a new thing then.
No.
Oh.
All right, so.
Oh, here's my favorite thing. We had auditions in Hawaii.
Oh, that's
Why
right.
Not?
Yeah.
We had auditions in Hawaii, and we had people audition in Hawaii. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Why not?
That's
I know.
Cool,
I wish I could have gone and run that audition.
I know.
Write that off as a work expense, right?
Yeah. I'm actually going in February to Kauai.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Hawaii.
Jealous.
All right.
Jealous.
So I wanted
you should sod that off and come to the UK.
I know.
Well, let me see.
Let me see.
And raining or beautiful and green. I don't know.
Well, when are you going? February?
February, yeah.
Yeah, good chance it'll be snowing here, actually. So,
Ugh, yuck.
I'll definitely take the palm trees and the beach.
Yeah.
But we have better beer here.
Yeah, but do you have better food?
Yeah. No.
Actually, yeah, right.
No,
Hold on a second. Right. Let's get something straight here, okay? British people don't have bad teeth, and the food is actually pretty good. So, I don't know where that's come from. I've lived here for 23 years. Food is actually quite good. If you've never had a proper fish and chips, you don't know what you're missing. Curry is actually not Indian. It's actually the national food of Britain. Steak and kidney pie is lovely. Don't knock it till you tried it, Justin. Haggis. Now, right. So as you know, I went to Scotland recently, and I'd never had haggis. And I did give it a go. And I got to be honest, that wasn't for me. The taste was all. I quite liked the taste. It was the texture. It was just a little bit weird. Black pudding. Most people think it's a fried scab. It's not. It's actually quite nice. So
what you know? Okay, I'm gonna bring us fried scab. Gross. Okay, bringing us back to auditions. So here's my thought about auditions. Yeah, we have. I think we said it was the Blue Stars that were going over to Japan. We have Phantom Regiment doing some stuff in Hawaii. Why isn't anybody having auditions in the UK? Why isn't anybody having auditions somewhere in Europe? Because we pull European students all the time. But why aren't we really making a concerted effort to bring kids over from Europe to march with us?
So it's a good question, really.
I challenge Phantom Regiment to have a UK audition next year.
I would actually say put the audition in Holland or Germany.
Yeah, the Netherlands would be good too. Yeah. For sure. But
we could do members. 2 of them. There's no question in my mind you would get members.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we're gonna move along to Mandarins. They're doing video auditions. They're also doing Texas, NorCal, Southern California, and Connecticut. That's another one. Like, why? Maybe they have a tie there.
I know.
To a staff member,
did Atlanta,
Connecticut.
Yeah.
I don't see there's a hotbed of drum corps.
Well, Connecticut's, depending on where it is in Connecticut, that's a commute to New York. That's a commute to New Jersey.
It's hitting the New York metropolitan area is what that is.
Yeah, depending on where it is in Connecticut. So it's East Coast without being Boston East Coast, you know?
Yeah, but it just kind of seems just like to be these weird audition places that, anyway. We're going to move
Usually
on.
It's because there's a staff member there that has access to a facility, yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to highlight a couple of different things from organizations that are doing fundraising. So I definitely want to make sure we talk about that. Spartans, they are going to be making an announcement. As soon as they make that announcement, I'll put it on our page so you guys can see it. But they're going to have an online auction to benefit the Spartans organization. I highly recommend, if you can, to be a part of that. I did look, and it's November 14th, so that's in a week, right? That's 4 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't see any information on this. Let me see if I can maybe scroll. No, that's something different.
It just says watch for further details. They're probably still setting up their online store.
Yeah. So I would think they would have it by now. It's in 4 days, but I'll keep an eye on that one. But I just literally came across this morning. So, okay. Hold on. There's one more. Sorry. This one's kind of out of order. Okay. Madison Scouts are having their Merry merch sale, Mary Madison collection. So go to their, this will be in the description as well, if I remember to do everything I should. But they have some cool stuff. I actually kind of like it. I mean, how are you going to go along with red and green? Yeah.
I like the hoodie.
Yeah, exactly. You know, should we do some Halloween? Should we do some Christmas merch?
Maybe. I like that.
I'm gonna have to come up with some Christmas merch.
Yeah.
I'll be the designer, I'm sure. I designed all of it so far.
Oh well, I'll tell you what though. I have for us little as we're talking about Christmas and stuff like that. So last year for our Christmas pod, we watched The Cadets, as you recall. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I recently came across a digital version of Festivals in Brass. Do you remember that, Justin? The DCI Christmas album, that came out in 1991, where numerous corps put together a brass ensemble, and the freelancers put up Canzona Personari #9.
Oh, that's right.
They did that in 91, and they did it again in 93.
Yeah, so I came across a digital download of that. So maybe that's something we should.
Yeah. I remember us doing that. I remember us doing that.
Yeah.
But that was recorded. Was that recorded in the studio?
It was. Yeah, I played the euphonium part in it that year.
Yeah, I don't think I was involved in the recording part. I remember playing through it, but I don't think I was involved in the recording session.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool to watch. Okay. Oh, here's some more ugly Christmas. I don't think that's very ugly. That's actually kind of cool.
I like it.
It's kind of ugly.
But maybe I'll come up with some sort of Christmas themed merch very shortly.
Can we wear it? So while we're talking about the Christmas episodes here, can we wear offensive ugly sweaters?
What's offensive?
Yeah, what's offensive?
I've got some that are pretty offensive. Have you got a blur button that you can use for editing?
Oh, no. Good gracious.
All right, so our second to last article is about Music City, and I just came across this, and I thought this was kind of interesting how a lot of corps are now being very transparent about their budgets and what they're doing and fiscal responsibility, and I think it's fantastic because you're serving your public, right, and the people that march in your organization, so you definitely want to make sure you're being very transparent. I really love what Music City does. I mean, in terms of just the shows and how they present themselves is so cool. But this kind of just goes over like about their retreat and how they're planning for the next year, and they even bring up that last year was a little bit difficult because it was more expensive. There was a lot more things going on. But you guys can read the article here, but it's just kind of a really brief statement. But I thought it was kind of important to bring up that fiscal responsibility is still in the forefront. So,
yeah, I would definitely say when we have our board meetings and when we have our retreats and everything, that the budget takes the biggest chunk of the conversation, rightly so. You know,
yeah, because everybody wants to spend money that you don't have.
Right. Well, we're trying real hard to spend money we do have, and not spend money we don't have.
That's the problem. Is if everybody had their way, you wouldn't have any money that you do have. So.
Yeah. And this is going to be an interesting conversation just before we move on, as we transition into a new administration without getting political. There's always unease when we go from one party to another party, back and forth. There's always a little unease during these transition years, so it'll be kind of interesting how this colors our conversations as we plan to move forward. I've received a ton of emails just in the grant writing sphere about what does this mean for federal funding, what does this mean for state funding, and these are the same conversations that happen every 4 years. So it's kind of an interesting year, being that it was an election year, to see where these budget conversations and funding conversations go.
All right, are we ready for the last one?
Go on then.
This is a painful one. So Jersey Surf is not going to be fielding in 2025. I'm sure some of you have seen this already. And it's just ahead of the 35th anniversary is actually in 2025. They were founded in 1990.
It doesn't say they're not going to field. It says they've withdrawn from the DCI tour. It doesn't say that they're not fielding. It says they've made the decision to withdraw from the DCI tour. So,
but if you're reading,
go on.
Go ahead. I was going to say when I was reading in the article, it does kind of allude to that.
I mean, when I first read this didn't seem like a corps that was like on its ass broke or anything like that.
No.
This struck me as an organization making a painful decision because what was happening wasn't working. I can't imagine. I mean, they really did step outside of their comfort zone by going to Texas last year. I'd be interested to see what that did to the finances of the corps. But I think that this talks to the bigger picture. Jersey Surf as an organization has always done well by their members. They've always acted within their means, okay? And to me, this maybe I'm just reading more into it. I don't know, but to me, this strikes me as an organization making a statement saying, "Look, this ain't working for us anymore." I mean, people have been saying for years that the DCI touring model needs to be changed, needs to be looked at, needs to be adjusted, whatever you want to call it. And this to me, what I read was Jersey Surf just saying, "Look, enough. This isn't working for us anymore." So it's sad because I thought that last year's show could have been a really, really big jumping off point for them. Biggest core they've had in years, and they brought the fun back to the field. So I'm sad.
Yeah.
This really saddens me a lot.
Yeah.
Justin, what's your take? Because I have a hot take, and then I might suck up some time. So what are your thoughts?
So my thoughts after reading this is like they are not going to field. They are looking at ways to change their organization to serve more people. And then it looks like it says, where is it? Right here. They're reallocating resources toward initiatives that enhance accessibility and fiscal responsibility. So it means they're going to be reallocating their money to other things other than fielding the drum corps. That was my take on it. So I don't know if they're going to do like winter guard, winter drum line stuff, indoor stuff, trying to build more of a base. I don't know.
So Jersey Surf was one of the first world-class drum corps to operate a little bit more like an open-class drum corps. They said we're only going to go out in these little spurts and chunks, and we're going to start later in the season, and we're going to stay more local and regional, and that worked for them for the time being because it worked for them fiscally, but then didn't necessarily work for them competitively. They've always kind of stayed in that bottom chunk of drum corps. They've done well recruiting because I think the kids that go to March Jersey Surf are the ones that don't need to do a national tour, maybe don't have the money to do a national tour. Now, I don't know what their member dues were, and how that relates to their overall revenue pool. There is a larger conversation that happens, and I talked about this in a private chat. But we always have a conversation when we get together as a board. So now that's out there. What happens if DCI goes kaput? We always talk about the bloated tour, the da-da-da-da. What happens if DCI just says, "Oh my gosh, we can't do this anymore"? And what do we just dissolve and shut our doors and say, "Well, that was a nice run"? Or do we focus on other initiatives? Do we become something else? And there's a good discussion, a good healthy discussion. And this is why maybe you see all these different organizations starting to invest in their communities more. Like even Phantom Regiment is investing in the public school system and music education in the public school system and district bands and concert bands and things like that. And what does this mean when Jersey Surf comes out and says, Bluecoats did this a couple of years ago. They invested in a nonprofit that teaches all sorts of different things, but they're in there teaching dance and music and percussion and all this stuff because it's local roots and it's helping the community. When Jersey Surf says we're coming in to reallocate resources, initiatives that enhance accessibility and responsibility, it takes less money maybe to do things in the community than go to Texas, And so now they're saying we want to focus maybe on our community. And this is me just guessing at one line. But all of a sudden, if they say we don't need to tour, we are literally reimagining what our organization is for and the mission we serve. I'm really, it's sad to lose a drum corps, but I'm really intrigued by what they're replacing it with. They may come back and do an open class or do sound sport as part of that accessibility piece. There's no reason they have to stay a world-class drum corps and still have a drum corps. But this is a big transition year, and I'm really intrigued to see what they're doing, what they're imagining, because they've always been a student-first organization. Not that anybody else isn't, but they said we're gonna maybe forsake competitive standing for accessible programming. And so I'm trying to find the light in this.
Something that I wondered about though is I do wonder if there was a little bit of pressure from somewhere else outside of Jersey Surf to do this because something that I read in possibly the same place that you read, Jen, as far as private chats are concerned, is that Jersey Surf wanted to essentially have the advantages of being a world-class drum corps while operating like an open-class drum corps. And at some point, that doesn't work. You know?
I think you get more appearance money, stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, so I do wonder if maybe there was some pressure. Well, I'll call a spade a spade. I wonder if maybe DCI was pressuring him a little bit as well, saying, "Look, either you need to go to open class or do something else," and this is maybe the result of do something else.
So them going down to open class would not have been a harmful move to the organization, with the exception of,
not at all.
Appearance fees might have hurt.
Not at all.
But they probably would have performed competitively better in open class.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting move, and I'm always intrigued by what they do because, like I said, they've been a programming first quality. Like, here's the accessibility point for our members. So this is really, they might end up being like kind of a harbinger of new and intriguing concepts within our activity. So
either way though, in the short term, it sucks because, like I said, I thought Surfadelic was going to be a good jumping off point for the organization.
Yeah. Either way, it sucks to lose a drum corps on the tour. Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, Justin, we've both interrupted you a gazillion times. Go.
That's okay. That's okay. I was just going to piggyback on what you guys said because I highlighted the area that I thought was the most interesting. It says, even though this is difficult, it enables us to create more opportunities for young people to engage with music. So that means I think they're going to create different programs, like you said, locally, or like Winter Guard, Winter Drumline, Indoor Winds, something like that, where they can get more people involved in the organization, so that then they can take that and move that better into drum corps. Because like what Kanan said, Kanan, you're over here. What Kanan said versus what Jen said, or in conjunction with what Jen said, is that I think you guys are right on the money, because I think even though they had a really big drum corps, I don't think competitively they're meeting the expectations of DCI. And I think DCI is like what you said, probably like you have to either go down or reevaluate what you're doing,
or be a world-class drum corps.
Yeah, or pick one.
Excuse me. Right.
But you can't be both. And it's kind of interesting because everybody wants Spartans to go up into World.
They don't want to. They don't need to.
They don't want to.
They don't want to. They don't need to. So I think it's just kind of interesting, because I think Jersey Surf, I mean, I've enjoyed a lot of their shows, and they're kind of like VK-ish, Bridgman-ish kind of they do kind of those kind of shows where they're fun and entertaining, and they don't take themselves too seriously. And I think in last year's show was a really colorful, great show. I liked it. But once again, competitively,
literally there isn't a single drum corps in DCI, with the exception of maybe the Bluecoats, that could have pulled off Surfadelic.
Yeah.
There isn't a single one. What I would say, though, on the subject of community orientation, though, is that you look at all of the most successful organizations, okay? We've mentioned Foundering Regiment. We've mentioned Bluecoats. We've mentioned, who else did we mention? I think it was Cavaliers or something like that. Look at the Blue Devils, for instance. And I'm not saying it's just because I'm wearing a System Blue shirt, but look at the Blue Devils. You got Blue Devils A, B, and C. Okay, C is a local organization meant for performance opportunities for the kids. Okay, the kids that are in C are local members. You got Diablo Valley Winds. You've got the Twirlers. You've got the Special Education Guard. You've got their connection with RCC. They've got a lot of, if the Blue Devils A Corps just said, you know what, we're not going to come out this year, there's a lot of other stuff going on there that would keep the organization ticking over. So you can't have all your eggs in one basket, that basket being a drum corps. It just doesn't work in the modern society.
And there's a ton of organizations that are looking at it that way.
Being said,
diversifying like that.
Yes, but what I'll finish with this. So that being said, I think that there was an element of, and this is just purely speculation on my part, mind you, but I think that there is certainly an element there of Jersey Surf saying, "Hey, this doesn't work for us anymore. This model of touring doesn't work for us anymore." And I will be genuinely shocked if we get to the opening day of the 2025 season and the only corps that we've lost is Jersey Surf. I will be genuinely shocked. I hope I'm very, very wrong. But I think that the touring model needs looking at. It just does.
Well, rumor has it the
we
tour
keep
model
banging that
looks
drum.
very different this year.
Good, it needs to.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Because again, going back to the joke of tell me you're old without telling me you're old. I think back to my day. What did we have? We had first tour and we had second tour. First tour for us was California. Maybe we would venture as far north as Oregon,
Washington,
or maybe Arizona. It was brutal, but we did what, a couple of weeks, and that gave us first off the opportunity to figure out how to tour. Okay, work out the kinks before we left our home state. It was also an opportunity for drum corps to put out a partial touring year quite easily. You looked at corps like Arizona Sun, Tar Heel Sun, and so on and so forth, or Arizona Sun Sunset Regiment. A lot of those smaller Arizona corps. BDB only did the California tour. And then we would go back, have a couple of weeks at home, and then head out on the road for 3 or 4 weeks and do the big tour. Now, I don't know if something like that works in these days.
A longer tour and all that stuff.
Yeah, because school finished earlier and started later. Now school's years are longer, so there's a lot of reasons that you can't do it. But I mean, there's certainly elements of that I think could and should be looked at. So
I mean, when we were on tour, it was almost 9 weeks. Because we started our evaluation show. We used to have what's called the evaluation
late
show,
May,
which
early June.
No, it was
like the
early
13th,
June,
the 12th, something really early like that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I remember about that. Tell you what I remember about that show, Justin. What I remember about that show is it was in Gilroy every year.
Yeah.
And I remember just warming up to the smell of garlic. And the other thing I remember about that evaluation show is the first time I'd ever tried garlic ice cream.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. No, that's a big thing. That's a big, huge garlic festival up in Washington State. It's crazy. Yeah. I totally have lost my train of thought. Oh, speaking of California tour, a little bit of news that we haven't talked about. I don't know if we talked about it before. Boston Crusaders are going to California this year. So there's a little bit of offset news. Yeah, they're doing the California tours.
Yes.
Isn't that going to be fun?
They're going to probably be rehearsing right down about 15 minutes away from where I'm at, because they're at a high school. There's a huge high school like in Folsom, and that's where they were at 2017, I think was the last time they were there. And I actually went out and watched them. They were amazing.
Justin, this is the bit where you put in that meme or whatever of Steve Carell going, "Oh no!" But I swear that must have been Blue Devils when they found out Boston's coming to California.
No.
Well, they're gonna be here because they usually stay in Folsom because the SAC show's here, and then they'll do Concord or not Concord, but what do you call it? Stanford. So they probably will stay here and just bus there, and then bus to Sacramento, and then head back out. So that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. That's right. They don't have a Concord show anymore, do they? I used to love doing that show at Diablo Valley College.
It's a combined show with Santa Clara.
Okay.
At Stanford University, but honestly, Stanford University, it's kind of a regional. So they put it on Flow. Great stadium. Show, It's great stadium for drum corps, and it's 30 degrees cooler. Sometimes it's like you go there and it's not 30, but it's about 20 degrees cooler. So like it's 110 here, you go there, it's like 90 something.
I was gonna say it's a huge change between Stanford and Moonlight Classic, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Right, so folks, we're going to watch, in honor of Jersey Surf, we're going to watch what I think is a quintessentially Jersey Surf show, and that's the 2004 show, which was called Lounging Around with Jersey Surf. It was a unique and entertaining production. It featured lounge music, as well as leisure suits, whatever you want to call them, and a mid-show costume change to Elvis-inspired uniforms. And my favorite thing is, turns out Jersey Surf is actually the originators of the wheel, which you'll see at the end of the show. So whenever you're ready, Justin.
All right. Here we go.
Presenting a production of Lounging Around.
I've never seen this show.
Fabulous Jersey Surf.
Me neither.
Drum Corps International is proud to present from Berlin, New Jersey, Jersey Surf.
So Jersey Surf is Division 2 at this time?
Drum Major Rob
believe they played
Stein,
8
is your
this show.
corps ready?
Pretty big drum corps.
There was a lot more Division 2 corps then as well.
What place did they come in? 8th?
8th. Scored about
Jersey
87, I
Surf,
think.
you may take
That's
the
pretty
field
good,
in
though.
competition.
Oh, wow. Not nearly as loud as it should be. Sorry. Interesting. I like the big collars.
I like the big collars. That's what I saw too. Yeah.
Looks very Florida Wave. Do you remember them?
Yes, they were
that's
good,
what I
dude.
couldn't place. Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to go and
With
do.
the Bahama hats.
Nice.
I like that.
Nice.
That was a very freelancer sounding.
That was a very freelancer thing. Yeah.
A nice sound.
Good sound. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a
Exactly.
good drum corps. It's a good drum corps. It's actually a very freelancer sounding show, really.
Yeah, I was about to say this sounds like
Yes,
A4
it is.
freelancers.
It could be straight out of the John Zimney archives, this.
Right?
Sorry, it's not louder, but it's as loud as it is.
That's all right. That's good.
Let me see if I can turn it up somehow. I don't think I can.
Sometimes we drown out our voices, so.
That's 100%.
Bruce?
Well, everyone watching is going to get a nice full loud sound. We just won't.
Yeah. We don't. Yeah.
Nice. Woo! Nice attack there.
I cannot rectify my brain what the color guard is supposed to be wearing. Like, I wish they didn't have the aprons on.
Well, I think it goes back to the whole lounging around, so maybe they're like cocktail lounge waitresses.
Maybe, yeah, they look more like the hotel maids. Sorry. But I guess, yeah.
Man, that's
sounds really
totally,
good for them.
totally like a mix of freelancers and Blue Devils.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. There you go. There you
There's
go.
Blue Devils. Ba-da-dum. That was a Blue Devils ending.
From the first timpani beat, I was like, whoa. I like the conductor.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
I embrace it. Bring me more.
It's like a comfort blanket, security blanket.
But you know what I like about this, though? It's just entertaining drum corps. You don't have to think about it. There's no theme or anything crazy. We're blowing bubbles. Do you know what I mean?
Are they blowing bubbles? Oh my gosh.
They're blowing bubbles.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love it. You don't want to hear me sing. I want to badly though. Are we costume changing?
You might get another fan if you sing, you know, Jen.
Oh, I know. Could I?
Well, if you've never seen this show, you're in for a treat here in a second, Jen.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Oh my goodness. What? Oh my god.
I can't see it. Oh, there we go.
There it is. Oh my gosh. The ultimate Vegas lounge act.
That's some serious hair.
I love the wigs. Yeah, the headpieces are great.
I love as well when you see the tuba players that are of a, how should we say, a larger stature.
Robustness.
Right?
It looks like Fat Elvis.
Fat Elvis. No offense, tuba player.
I mean, come on, though. Listen to this brass line. They're not bad at all.
Strange segue. I mean, it somehow it works, though. Oh, yes, the aprons are gone. All right. I like those slides.
It's hard to see definition with the...
Yeah, that's the resolution of the video. Oh my god. Yeah, this is fun to watch. Good for them.
They're doing a lot of great foot technique. You notice they're doing like point and step. They're doing point transitions and stuff like that, front to back. That stuff is not easy to do, man.
Well done.
Yes. Very cool show.
Oh, it's not done.
No, it's not done. Yeah.
The best bit's yet to come.
There's no shortage of like Elvis motifs that you can like put into your visual program, you know. I like the arrangement.
Yeah, it's very good.
Bit of aggressive drill there.
Nice.
Fix the car again.
That hair is just...
The hair is amazing. I love it. I'm sorry. I love it. It's the best thing ever.
I mean, come on.
It's so great. It's like my... What's the...
What does it take to penalty?
Or end
Take
the
the
show.
penalty or end the show.
Oh, it's a time thing?
Take the penalty. Oh my god.
I think the penalty wasn't time, it was boundaries.
Boundaries, yeah.
And for those who are curious, they didn't get they weren't penalized.
They weren't penalized for
Oh
this?
my gosh. Look at this. Oh my Oh my gosh. Look at that.
From Berlin, New
I've never
Jersey,
seen this before.
Jersey Surf.
Tell me that's not VK-ish.
Exactly.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
But what was that? That was just entertaining. Yeah, like you said, you
I
didn't have to think
know.
about it. You didn't have to think about it. They didn't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
But they were still a damn good drum corps. That's VK.
Yeah, VK. Right there. And I mean, I think that's probably, I mean, if I haven't watched all of their shows, but a lot of the shows I've seen of theirs are very much just kind of like, let's have fun, let's have a good time, put on a great show, colorful, imaginative, and let's just have a good time. And that's kind of what I think VK took a little bit more. They threw in everything in the kitchen sink. I mean, they threw in gimmicks and gags and stuff like that. Jersey Surf really doesn't do that as much.
At 92, they literally had a kitchen sink in the pit, by the way.
Oh my God, they had everything.
Who?
They had the shark,
VK?
they had Pee Wee Herman.
92
they had,
did.
but
That
that's one of their most epic
I
shows, though.
I remember in 92 as well. You'll probably remember this as well, Justin, is that the first time we'd lost to him early season. We started getting a little bit close to him, and I think it was Allentown, I think it was, and we'd lost to VK. And I remember Paul Zimney telling the horn line about it. And he was like, we were all angry, and he goes, I can't even be angry. He says, because they're just the funniest drum corps I've ever seen.
Right.
You know, he said, I can't even be angry. They're really good and they're really funny. So
yeah,
they came in 10th that year. With Bluecoats was behind them, right? It was them, Bluecoats, and the Nuts, I think, in 12.
I think you're right. Kanan's going to look it up for verification, but I'm pretty sure you're correct.
What? Oh yeah, VK was 10th in 92.
Yeah, they were 10th. Yeah.
So Justin, Jen, shall we do a British swear word of the day?
The British swear word of the day.
And now the British swear word of the day by the Tumour.
It comes back for a guest appearance.
It's been a while. It's been a while. So today's British swear word is git, which is spelled G-I-T. Git is a versatile insult that can be used to describe someone who is annoying, stupid, or just generally unpleasant. It's a bit milder than some other swear words, but it still packs a punch. So here's an example in a sentence. He's such a git, always interrupting people, that Kanan. So remember, while git is a common British swear word, it is still considered rude, so please do use it with caution. And that is today's British swear word of the day.
And that was the British swear word of the day.
And thank you for that. Woo!
Yay!
We were missing one off the previous podcast, so that's cool. All right, everyone. Well, tell us your thoughts in the comments, and thank you guys so much for joining us. I know we are in November as we're recording this, the second weekend of November. I will not be. I don't think we're going to be recording one probably till December.
Right.
At this point, this was, like I said, an emergency one that we weren't anticipating doing, but with the news of Jersey Surf, we kind of thought it was our duty to come together and discuss.
So to that end, to all the drum corps out there, we've got other stuff to do. So if you could hold off on like not fielding or anything like that until at least say December, that'd be cool.
Mid-December, yeah,
that'd be cool.
Well, we want to thank all of you guys for watching. As we're recording this video, we are 4 videos away from reaching 200 on our inventory of videos that we have. So 3.
Yeah, I'm going to be releasing one in the next day or so.
Okay. So and then I still have 2 more. So that's going to be the 200th. Wait, no, we still have 1 more after that. So we'll see where the 200th is. Maybe we need to do 200th podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to do 200th podcast. Maybe we can't release any other videos until we get
Oh
the
man,
200th.
I had a guard video that I was going to do. Okay, say one of these videos for me because I have a guard video on deck.
So I think we're going to do a 200th podcast to kind of celebrate 200 videos on our channel. I honestly couldn't do it without you guys joining and becoming a part of the channel, because it's been, you guys know what a struggle it is to get this done.
Yes.
Hey, do you know what's crazy though, Justin? Is that we've got like 196 videos on the channel, and channel analytics say that 60% of the people that watch our videos aren't subscribed. How nuts is that?
Come on,
That is
people
nuts.
subscribe.
Well,
It takes a second. hit that button.
Right down there somewhere. Down there.
Hit the button. Just hit the button.
And let us know what you think as well. If you're Jen's fan, let us know. Say hi. If you happen to be a fan of me or Justin, not that we're expecting it because Jen gets all the fans, but if you happen to like us, say so. If you think I'm a git, tell me as well.
There you go.
There you go. See, use them as sentence. So yeah. Anyway,
well, we appreciate it, and if you're
buy a
gonna see it,
t-shirt.
like, go to the merch store, please. Go to the merchandise store. Go to our channel, and that way you can see what's going on in the community. You can become a member. Members do get perks, so please make sure you check that out. As low as $1.99 a month, it helps support the channel. What we're trying to do is trying to get Kanan and I to DCI in 2025. So we're really trying to get to DCI proper in 2025. Jen can just drive. We can't. We have to fly.
You know what? I might promote that y'all should come to 2026 because I'm going to be performing in the alumni corps in 2026.
Oh.
So.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see.
2
years in a row, can we do it?
I think we can do 2 years in a row.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
2026 actually. Listen, Justin, 2026 makes more sense as well because obviously you got to fly me over, and I ain't coming over unless it's in at least business class. So.
Oh my gosh, how
wow.
bougie!
Okay, Mister. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember what I was going to say now.
I
but
kid.
That's okay.
I kid.
I kid.
I love
I
it.
kid. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining us on this podcast. As always, we have a great time making it. I don't have a great time editing it necessarily because it takes me a long time to edit this, but I'm glad to get to do it because that means you guys get to see us doing what we love, which is talking about this activity, promoting this activity, and sharing with you news and things like that. And we really appreciate you being here. So thank you so much. We are going to see you on the next one, which is going to be the 200th. So you may not see any videos for a couple weeks. We'll have to coordinate amongst ourselves when we can do it. I'm unfortunately going to be gone the entire week of Thanksgiving. You know what? Actually, I'll be back the weekend after on December the 1st. So maybe we can do it on December the 1st and do the 200th episode then. So what I'm going to have to do is kind of space out the videos. So that we don't
don't
put them
parse
out
it out.
Yeah, but thank you guys so much. We'll see you on the next video. Until then, sir.
Remember, no matter who you're doing it with, no matter where you're doing it, no matter when you're doing it, no matter how you're doing it, just when you're doing it, make sure march on.
March on. Thank you guys.
March on.
Ciao.